Hey everybody, Happy New Year. Praise God. We made it through 2017, and today is January 1st, 2018. So thank you guys for tuning in. You just tuned into a Bettering Me YouTube channel. And today I actually just wanted to do a short video. I recently made a post on Facebook about some kind of like easy tips when it comes to organization and goal setting for the new year. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and maybe it'll help someone. I'm not saying that, this is all that there is. I'm sure there are many more different techniques and tools as far as organization and, goal setting and just being productive. But this is just kind of what worked for us, and a few people asked about it, so I just wanted to kind of share a little more in depth as far as like what we did. So the first thing that we did was I sat down and I wrote down however you want to do it, whether it's a journal or just on a sheet of paper, kind of what, not kind of, but like your accomplishments for the previous year. And yeah, that was very reflective for me, kind of going into the new year, to really see what worked well in the previous year, what didn't work well, really what God had brought me through, and then some things that I needed to continue to work on and progress through in the new year. So the first thing was looking at the accomplishments that I achieved for the previous year. And then the second thing was writing down my goals for 2018. So I'm just going to show you this sheet of paper. I'm sure you can't see that. And it's not anything pretty, so you can, start off on a sheet of paper and then maybe go back and make it pretty. But if you can kind of see at the top, I started with like goals for 2018. And these are just kind of like my overall goals for the year. So by December 31st, 2018, I want to be able to have reflected on the year of 2018 going into 2019 by God's grace, and look at the accomplishments that I achieved for 2018. So this is kind of what I'm looking at, and my standard are these goals for 2018. And of course, you can add to it, you can take away, as you progress through the year. I'm kind of one of those people, I'm very visual. I like to write things down. So I like to be able to like highlight that I, accomplished something or check it off on my to-do list. So this is how I kind of started, is just I wrote down goals for 2018. And I'll probably make it like more pretty, maybe do like a dream board or a vision board or something where I can actually maybe frame it and put it up, and it can be like decor in your house as well. So then the next thing I did was looking at goals for 2018. I wanted to make them more, I don't know what the word is, achievable, attainable, whichever one it is. So I have another sheet of paper where I wrote down goals for January 2018. So I have my goals for the overall year, and then my desire for this year to kind of help me stay on track is to sit down kind of at probably like the last day or the last week of the previous month and write down what my goals are going to be for that month coming up. So I sat down at the end of December and I said, okay, what am I going to focus on? I have my overall goals for the year, but what am I going to focus on in January, right? And whatever I'm focusing on in January, obviously is helping me towards attaining my overall goals for the year, but it's kind of breaking them down so that they're not overwhelming, if that makes sense. So these are my goals for January 2018. And then I've kind of already started on February. February is not much, if you can see. I think I only have like 2 goals for February so far. And so I'll do this for every month. But the idea is having my overall goals for the year and then breaking them down so that they're not overwhelming, and having my goals for each specific month that will obviously help me attain my overall goal for the whole year, or goals for the whole year. And so the reason that I do that is because, one, you'll set goals for yourself for the year, and the year kind of just comes by quickly, really, and you kind of forget the goals that you set for yourself. And so this is kind of a way to keep me accountable. So I'm not just, and I think that's where we go wrong a lot of times, and why people really hate like these New Year's resolutions, because people will set these New Year's resolutions on December like 31st, and then by January 15th, the resolutions are out the window. And so a way to kind of, break that up and kind of stay on track with your goals is have it, first of all, write it out. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. So writing it out, having it in a place where you can see, right? You can see what your goals are for the year, but then also month by month, writing down what are your specific goals for that month to help you get to your overall goals for the year. And that way it helps you stay accountable. So whatever you didn't accomplish in January, whatever I don't check off in January, that I'm going to transfer it over to February's paper. But the goal is for me to sit down, and this is another thing that you can do that my husband and I are trying to be like more intentional in this new year, is having weekly meetings. So I have my goals for January 2018. The goal is, or what we desire to do, and kind of what we started doing in the previous year, or we tried to do, weren't very effective, was to sit down every week. Have a designated day where you have like your meeting, right? You sit down once a week. So for us, it was like every Sunday we said we were going to sit down and we were going to look at, okay, kind of go back over what are our goals for the year. And then what month are we in? So right now we're in January. So let me go over my goals for January. And then now looking at the week ahead of me, let me sit down and write down, what is my focus going to be for this week. So a goal for 2018, one of our goals for 2018, and we have goals separately, like as individuals, and then we have goals like as a married couple. But one of our goals is physical fitness. And so we said that for 2018, our goal is to work out at least 2 times minimum a week, so 2 to 3 times a week. And so what that would look like is, so say we sat down today and we're looking at our schedule for the next week. Then as we sit down and we've looked at our goals for the year and we're looking at our goals for January, in order to stay on track with that, what we would do is we would go ahead and schedule our 2 to 3 weeks, or 2 to 3 days this week that we're going to go ahead and work out. So we would look at our schedule and we would say, okay, Tuesday night at 6 p.m., 6 to 7, we're going to work out. Thursday from 3 to 4, I don't know, I'm just throwing a time out there, we're going to work out. But that's just kind of a way to help kind of break it down, and so it helps you to stay accountable and kind of stay on track. So goals for the year, month by month, what are my goals for each month? And I would recommend maybe working with 3 months at a time. So our desire is to have January, February, and March's goals basically situated probably like by the end of this week. So having goals 3 months at a time, and then in order to stay on track with those monthly goals, sitting down every week and saying, okay, in order for me to achieve my overall goal for January, what do I need to do this week to help me stay on track and to help me accomplish that very thing? And I would recommend maybe like 4 or 5 goals for the month. That way maybe they're outside of, work and school and whatever other daily tasks that you already have on your plate, then you can give yourself one thing a week that you're going to work towards. Say for the month of January, if I give myself 4 goals for the month of January, then each week in January I'm focusing on one goal, so that by the end of January I can say, okay, I accomplished all 4 goals that I set for myself in order, to get done this month. And then the same thing for February. At the end of January, I'll sit down and I'll say, okay, these are my 4 or 5 goals for January, and then each week in February I'll sit down and say, okay, this is the goal I'm going to assign for this week, this is the goal I'm going to assign for this week, so that by the end of February I've accomplished all the goals that I've set for myself. Just some quick tools that you can use also when it comes to organization. One is obviously like a calendar, a planner, a physical copy. You can find them at Barnes & Noble, Walmart, whatever it may be, to kind of help write out your different goals, whether it's for the year, whether it's for the month, and whether it's your weekly tasks. I would even recommend something that is very effective is naming your time. And so sitting down, like I said, at the beginning of each week and looking at, okay, this is the week I have ahead of me. There's certain planners that you can buy that breaks your day down by time. And so I don't have it in front of me right now, but the planner that I have, so say for January 2nd, tomorrow, my day will start at like 5 a.m. So right beside 5 a.m., I'll put like wake up prayer time. And then maybe by like 6:30, I'll write workout. Then by 7:30, get ready for work. And then even down to like 8:10 a.m., leave for work. Like I literally order my time by the hour and sometimes like by the minute, because it just helps me stay on track, and it helps me stay organized, and it helps me stay accountable. And then I'll have work from this hour to this hour. And then when I get off work at 5, I'll say from 5:30 to 6:30, whatever it may be, cook dinner, whatever, like it may be. Even if it's the fun things that you do, really schedule your time. Because when you don't schedule your time, when you don't name your time, when you don't name your time, then it just looks like you have a bunch of time, and you end up not being as productive as you could have been. So when you sit down and say, okay, I'm going to accomplish these 5 things today, and these are the times that I'm going to do it at, and I'm going to give myself 1 hour for this task, 2 hours for this task, I'm only going to give myself 10 minutes for this task. That helps you utilize your time more effectively. When you just say, oh, okay, I just had this day, and you just kind of go with the flow, and then sometimes things don't get done. We have more time than we realize. It's just a matter of really looking at your time and naming your time, and that allows you to use your time more effectively. So one tool is using your physical planner. Another is your, if you have a phone, probably have a phone, like your Gmail calendar. That's another thing that I use because my phone is always on me. So when something comes up, or I have someone is talking to me and they're saying like, hey, can we meet this Wednesday at 6? I immediately pull my phone out and I put it in my phone, and I set an alarm. I set 2 alarms for myself, usually an hour before the meeting time, and then like 30 minutes or 15 minutes before I'm scheduled to have like a meeting or do something. So that's another tip or another tool that you can use. Another tool that you can use are to-do lists. So there's 2. You can actually physically write down to-do lists, which works for me sometimes. And then also I have an app on my phone called Wunderlist. How the Wunderlist app works is that you'll have a category, say, for maybe groceries. And then when you click on groceries, it'll have like everything that you need to buy. And you can kind of check it off. You can set yourself reminders like to go grocery shopping or do different things like that. Another thing will be like when we're traveling, I try to create like a list of like what we need to pack. So I'll have like travel to wherever, and then I'll have everything that we need to pack. Or I'll have I have a ministry tab. The ministry tab is insane, but that helps me kind of, keep on track with different things, different meetings when we're traveling for ministry or whatever it may be. And I would also recommend if you have like those, they have like in Walmart and Target and different stores like that, where you can buy like those huge calendars that you can actually put up in your house. And that's something that works for my husband, actually. He doesn't do as well with organization. So for him, it just has to, I just have to have it like in the house. So we have like a big calendar, and I'll put like what bills are due on what day. And I like to color code them. So bills will be like in red, because that's like, that's big. We gotta get bills paid. So bills will be in red, ministry will be in blue, work will be in like black, and then maybe like miscellaneous stuff, or like for him for school, I'll put his school stuff in green. So that's another tool that you can use as well, is like a big calendar being set up in your home. Another thing to stay organized is we have a chalkboard in our house, and so those are just like little things that we'll write on the go, like so that we don't forget things that may need to be done. So I hope that helped, and I pray you guys have an amazing year. And I pray that it's not a year where we're just, saying we're going to do this, and, we write these goals on these pieces of paper, but we're not intentionally really working towards them. I pray that it's really a year where we're not just talking about what we're going to do, but we're actually intentionally moving forward to take the steps to accomplish these goals. I think the time is over for constantly talking about what we're going to do. Eventually, at some point, we need to get up and start doing it. And so I pray that's the case for myself and for you guys in this new year. And find some people to surround you and keep you accountable of the goals that you're setting. It's kind of hard to do it by yourself, but it's always effective when you have people to surround you that can help you and keep you accountable of those things. So find a community, get connected with someone that can help you stay accountable. And make it like an incentive. One of my friends, we were just talking, and we're talking about how our desire is to work out at least 2 to 3 times a week. And so it sounds crazy, but we discussed that okay, if one of us misses our workouts for the week. So if I don't work out 2 times this week at least, then I have to give her $10 each time I miss a workout. And so sometimes you have to go to desperate measures to make sure you're staying accountable. Like whatever you need to do to make sure you're getting to where, you know, the Lord desires for you to get and where you desire to get in life. You know, set those goals and be accountable to them. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you later.